Good morning, this is A. Malhotra. Welcome to my show Gyan Scholars. The need to uphold the transgender rights has never been so important than today. Transgenders often suffer discrimination in almost all the domains of life. Today, our agenda of discussion is about transgender only. Let us join in Professor Madhusudhan, who has written this book.
Basically, which I taken up is actually it's a very interesting and current issue, and it actually associate very suitably with my specialization. I specialize in gender studies. I specialize in international relations, and especially the topics of feminism and the topics of themes of feminist scholarship, international relations. So in that particular sense, this book, this area, this publication of this edited book would bring about, it evokes lots of interest among the researcher community and the non-governmental organizations, and I think I'm very much hopeful that this book actually would give you a sense of the life of the transgender community in Kerala and of course in Indian context. So it actually suits and actually associated myself with my specialization of the gender aspects, the national and international arena. So that is actually very much important.
Professor Madhusudhan said that writing is not everybody's cup of tea. It is a very serious subject to deal with.
It's a wide variety of articles are included in the book. There are about 12 articles, 12 to 13 articles. So there must be 12 to 13 chapters in particular. And all these chapters, a wide variety of articles could be found. A wide variety of articles in the sense that it talks about the various socio-economic and political life of the transgender community. And there are some articles on the historical aspect, the historical evolution or the historical process of identifying the transgender community, and also their socio-economic life in various parts of the country. It is also look into the economic aspects, the entrepreneurial aspects, because the reason why there are organizations which employ transgender people. There are public organizations as well as private organizations which employ transgender people, and what kind of experiences they encounter in this organization, that is very much important.
The author of this book, Professor Madhusudhan, shared his experience of writing a book on transgenders.
So there are actually lots of discrimination. They were actually being stared at. They are being the working conditions were not suitable for them, so they left the organization. So such kind of problems are actually being addressed in some of these articles. So may not be directly, but there are some elements of such kind of discrimination in the articles. So that is also an important aspect of the book. And there are about, I told you, there are about 12 to 13 chapters, and one particular chapter discusses on the historical aspect of the discrimination in India. One particular aspect talks about the LGBT movement in India. One particular article talks about the entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial scope, the employment opportunities of transgender community in Kerala. One is focusing on the psychological aspect, the social aspects, the political aspects of the transgender community. So it actually covers almost all aspects, all dimensions of transgender community and transgender people in Kerala society. So that makes this particular book very interesting, because many of these books on transgender community focuses on the legal aspects, but it actually touches upon almost all aspects of the transgender community in India and in particular in Kerala. So that is an important aspect of this particular thing. And also the target leaders.
Talking about his book, he further tried to throw some light on the basic idea of writing this book.
This particular book is, I believe, unique in the sense that it focuses on a kind of a heterogeneous aspects of transgender community, the life of transgender community, as I told you. It never confined itself to a particular area. For example, many of the books available in the market are concerned about a particular focus. Basically, most of the books actually focus on the psychological aspect, the psychological upbringing of the transgender community. How do they evolve themselves? How do they identify themselves as transgender community? And there are lots of psychological issues that are involved. The family situation, the identity of the family, the acceptance of the family. So all these are actually part of the transgender awareness. But this particular book, I hope, would covers almost all dimensions of the transgender community, whether it's political, economic, commercial, historical, and almost all aspects of the transgender community. So that makes this particular book, I think, it's unique.
Professor Madhusudhan further said that he had to face many challenges while writing a book.
So one particular aspect is actually, one particular challenge is actually getting the manuscripts on time. So it's very difficult you have to pressurize a lot, you have to, you have to put pressure on the authors, for, sending their manuscripts. So manuscript collection is actually a very difficult task. And apart from that, the checking of the manuscript and also the proofreading aspect of the manuscript, the plagiarism aspect of the manuscript is also very important. So the proofreading is a very tedious task, and it consumes a lot of time. You have to proofread, you have to make sure that there is no grammatical errors and all such kind of things. And also you have to check whether the thing they have produced, the article they have produced, is actually adheres to the norms normally we stipulates. And also very important that there are no kind of cut and paste aspects in the books. Is actually really authentic kind of article, and it contains original, almost original ideas and original data they are used. Such kind of such kind of actually the general kind of prescriptions and rules and regulations are very much important, and it is a responsibility of the editor to look into such aspects, because that actually enhances the quality of the book. So that particular thing is actually very challenging for me.
That's it for the day. This is A. Malhotra signing off. We will meet you again tomorrow.